much bigger than us yesterday.
865-200-5402 if you have a thought on either the baseball or the basketball. I admire so much that this team got there. And sometimes that tournament can be very cruel for you because we've seen it with Cinderellas, in the past, where you win enough and eventually you get across with somebody that's way better than you. And that's what happened yesterday. It's funny being in my spot because, I'm Saturday, I'm out of the park just sitting there playing music, just trying to clear my head after being up. We got off the air at like 3:15 Friday night, and Brian conked out on the air, which I love. It's one of my favorite things Brian does, and I don't blame him. Because if I wasn't like having to stay engaged and host and was sitting there like those guys do, and you get called upon every 10 or 15 minutes to say something, I would conk out. But I had a couple people that I saw in the park, friends and whatnot. People know who I am, and they're like, "Hey, we're winning tomorrow," or "Hey, what do you think's going to happen?" Or they would say to me, and I just swallowed it. I'm not going to sit there on a Saturday and tell somebody, "Oh, we have no chance tomorrow." But my thought coming into that game, because Matt said it the other night, when you looked at the numbers, just the numbers, and I'm not an all numbers guy, but when you look at what Michigan's done this year against the competition they've done it against, and look at how their league has played in the tournament, and they destroyed some of those teams. They ripped some of those teams limb from limb. Obviously, they have an excellent basketball team. And here's the era we're in right now. And Brian said it last night. We're in the super team era. So you're at the University of Tennessee and you see that. And you either decide we're either going to be one of the 8 or so teams that play in the super team deal, or we're not. The Vols made the Elite 8 without spending super team money. But the rest of the 8, if you look at it, all spent super team money. And the tournament's so crazy that just because you spend super team money doesn't mean you can spend enough to get to the 8. But ask Duke. Because as the great Kerry Livgren once said, all your money doesn't another minute buy. Because when they had that weird sequence at the end of the game, that was all dust in the wind for them. They had 1 foot in the Final Four and 1 foot on a banana peel. And it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Now, here's my belief, and Brian, you're going to get your wish. Because I believe Tennessee is poised to spend super team money. Now, they've got to get a few guys to fall their way. There are a couple guys that aren't in the portal yet that you're going to see in the portal that will have Tennessee's name attached to them pretty quickly if this thing comes to pass the way it's going to. And if it doesn't, I'll tell you about it after the fact, who they were targeting, and then we can kind of go, just like last year when we told you they wanted that McNeely guy. I mean, we got pretty good ears in that deal. So rest assured, Tennessee is getting ready to get in it to win it because they know. I think the sentiment is that the Sands are going through Rick Barnes' hourglass. And I think he knows now, if we're going to do this, we've got to assemble a super team. And we can like that. Like I've got friends of mine from school, the Jonathan Millers of the world and Paul Gilberts of the world. I mean, guys that taught me Tennessee sports when I was a kid coming here from Philadelphia. The Rick Brackneys of the world, whose mother I saw a couple weeks ago at the Tip-Off Club. And, some of us old guys, we're not comfortable with this whole super team thing. Like, I don't know how it washes with Bino. But, Brian, you're ready for it, aren't you, Bri? You're ready for it, aren't you, Bri? The super team thing.
I just don't see how there's another way they can get past the Elite 8. They just have to become one of these super teams that they haven't been able to beat because these teams aren't getting upset like they once did. And one more thing about They lost their last 9 games in a row just 2 years ago. And now look at them. It almost makes you sick that they could be that bad and then be this good.
Not really. It should give anybody hope, because if you get enough rich people spending money and basically throwing their money away on players, and that's what you want to do. Hey, listen, ain't my money. The guy from Texas called me yesterday, and he said, well, Dave Portnoy is doing that. And, like, where have you ever seen me aspire to do what Dave Portnoy's doing? I got zero interest in that. I'm a guy doing a radio show, doing serving my community, serving my family, serving God. I got no interest in what Dave Portnoy is doing. No offense to Dave Portnoy. Well, you need to spend, I'm like, my money. With my money, I could buy a half a player right now, maybe like a half a walk-on. But, Bino, how do you respond to this thought that Tennessee's getting ready to load it up and try to put together a super team? You on board with it?
Yeah, I have no problem at all with it, Tony. It's the new way. It's what it's become. Yeah. You know, there's a saying in softball, don't get beat because other teams got better equipment than you. It's the way the game's played now. You go out and get the equipment you need to win the game.
Well, it's kind of like this, right? It's kind of like this. And this is why I was so mystified with Tennessee football. Because in a sense, Tennessee basketball is viewing itself the way Tennessee football should. And I'm not going to beat on our head coach 16 months after the fact, but I thought it was really weird that they got on the field with Ohio State. And the real difference in that game was that Ohio State had great players and ours were okay. Now, we didn't want to hear that at the time. We didn't want to believe that coming into the game. In retrospect, Bino, just like yesterday, we had about zero business on the court, the way that game was called. We were never going to win that game when they called that thing as tight as they did. The only path for Tennessee yesterday would have been to get some old rupperies from up there at Lexington back in the day that allowed you to clutch and grab, push and hold, hug, tug, grab guys' ankles when they went up for shots, those sorts of things. That was the only chance the Vols had yesterday in that game. The only chance.
Yeah. I mean, they were better than us at every position.
Yes. But other than that,
and yeah, the only way you can slow that down is to muck it up.
And so the analogy I think works, because from the first couple of drives of that Ohio State game, you could see they were clearly better. Look, we're knowledgeable about football here. We've seen our teams down through the years be clearly better than people. You can tell a couple series into the game, oh, we're superior to line of scrimmage than they are. Oh, we've got superior team speed. Oh, we're bigger, physical, bigger, faster, stronger than they are. That was Ohio State that night. And our football coach that year in the portal went to sleep. And I was highly critical of it. I could not believe they did that. It was wrong then. It's wrong now. It was wrong. When you're Tennessee football, you should not comport yourself in that fashion, in my opinion. If Danny White's going to charge those prices for Neyland Stadium, you shouldn't comport yourself that way in the transfer portal. And I'm not so sure if we didn't add this defensive coordinator this year, we wouldn't have comported ourselves the same way in the transfer portal, if I can get that on the record here. I'm a little, I don't know. People say, well, where's the 6-6 Vegas number? Where's that number? It's coming from the fact that they don't have a ton on the roster because we sleep in the portal. Hey, if we didn't have those Penn State kids, who we adding from the portal? I'm not dragging Heupel into this. I'm not. But I'm going to make a point here because I keep it 100 with you. Rick Barnes the alleged narrative that he's some old guy and, he's set in his ways. They're getting ready to go after offensive players. I don't know if they're going to get them. I don't know. But I'll tell you this right now. I've been kind of privy to what they're getting ready to do, and I'm going to tell you something. They're getting ready to really go for it. I don't know if they're going to land these guys. I don't know. But they're getting ready to really go for it. And I can't figure out in football why we don't comport ourselves this way. We got the money. We got the fan base. We got the interest. We got everything. But it takes effort. It takes your team getting out there. I'm talking about your team of coaches, your staff around you, getting their hands dirty and getting after it. You got to work at it. So we'll go to the phones. 865-200-5402. And here's the thing. Like Bino says, I believe the way you get Rick Barnes to a Final Four is to build a team that's a number 1 seed. And next season's going to come early. You know who the Vols open with? Out in Vegas next year. Have you guys seen this, Brian? They open with Purdue next year. See, here's the thing now. Very slowly in college hoops, very slowly, you've had a partitioning. Bino, you and I would say that NC State has better basketball tradition than we do, right? I mean, they've won a national championship. They've been to several Final Fours, etc.
Yes, historically, yes.
They are in League 2 now. We're in League 1. How do I know that? They just lost a coach that went back to LSU so he could get in the big time. We just sent one of our assistants who doesn't have head coaching experience. I don't believe. Does he have head coaching? Well, does he? Bri, does Gainey have, when he came from where they got him from? No, I don't think he has head coach. Anyway, they just made him a head coach at NC State. And here's the thing, and then we're going to go to the phones. We have to admit where we are right now in basketball. We're a Tier 1 program. And the minute Rick Barnes walks out that door, this shirts guy wants that job at St. Louis. This shirts guy, they were begging, NC State was begging him to take that job. You know how much better of a job Tennessee basketball is, and the resources around it, and the fan base around it is than that job? And I'll tell you something about shirts, and Bino knows us. He's a hell of a coach. If they hand that ball to him, which I think he'll wait for it. If they hand that ball to him one day, he'll take it and run with it. Bino, you have any doubt that that's going to happen if Schertz gets the job, that he'll be very good here?
No, I think he'll be very good here, Tony. Obviously, I'm not the most objective guy. Kind of fell in love with his program, watching him up at LMU. What I do know is he's a guy that every stop he's been, he's had to absolutely grind to put teams together.
Yep.
And he's done it quickly.
And that's what you need.
This is his hot zone right here.
This is it. So, and Wayne Emery says, poor Josh. Barnes gets bitch slapped second straight year, and Tony's blasting Heupel. I'm not blasting Heupel. I'm saying I don't understand why our football program doesn't act like our basketball program's acting in its space. I'm not blasting Josh Heupel. I can say that. Do we all have to be like total sycophants? That's certainly a fair thing I said. I don't back away from that for 1 second. Should I? When you get on the field with Ohio State and they show you this is what it's going to take, and then you just kind of saunter away and you don't go into the portal that year with your hair on fire, what are you saying? You're either in this thing to compete or you're not. Come on now.
Rick Barnes has done the equivalent of making the college football playoffs 3 years in a row.
Thank you.
By making the Elite Eight.
Thank you.
And Heupel did it one time.
Thank you.
And got complacent, assuming it happened again.
Thank you. Thank you. And these guys aren't getting paid to be complacent. That's the point. These guys anymore at these schools are not being paid to field nice little programs. I'm sorry. I didn't do it. I'm sorry.
Tony, I don't think I believe that that Tennessee's football program, without question, needs to increase the percentage of players that they take from the portal as opposed to what they take out of high school. I think they need to narrow their vision in high school and widen their vision in the portal. But I don't think you can compare basketball and football. I just don't. I don't. You can take your entire group out of the portal in basketball, and that seems to be the way to go now. I'm not convinced that's the way to go in football.
Back to the phones we go. 865-200-5402. We have so much to talk about today. Oh, my gosh. And I do believe that Rick Barnes and that Tennessee team is going to try to go to the super team route. And I really appreciate the effort this team has played with. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, Bino, Brian Taylor. What Barnes did, he's a hell of a coach.
Yep.
He's a great man. He has embraced, obviously, the portal. He has made nice with deep pocket boosters. He's got them on his side, and they're willing to write checks, so he's going to stick around. And, I think next year is going to be, do they write a big enough checks to get 5, 6 portal players to go to a Final Four? And that's what college basketball has become. It's about writing checks. Cinderella's dead. It's all about show me the money. Let's build a one-and-done team. Let's go all in on the portal. Maybe have a couple of players that have core, glue players. What I'm trying to say, Tony. Other than that, that's what college basketball has become. I'm not sure that I'm really here for it, but that's college basketball today. And like Dino said, it's a lot easier to write 4 or 5 big checks and have it done in basketball than on those 100+ rosters in football.
Yeah, I see that. But in my mind,
and one other point, Tony.
In my mind, when you get to a playoff, it's kind of like Tony Vols. When you get out there and you get on the
Tony who?
When you get out there on the national stage, okay?
Tony Giants.
You have to then, Taylor, make a decision that we're here to stay. And I like a little urgency with my sports, Taylor. That's all I'm saying. And I think
Tony,
that's a fair comment.
With Heupel? Is that her urgency with Heupel? Or is it the guy that controls the checkbook, Tony?
No, it's Heupel's. Hey, no, the football coach can call those shots. Hey, Rick Barnes is over there, my good friend, taking Jim Haslam out to lunch once a week. Josh Heupel could be doing the same thing. That's all you got to do is get a couple of these people pulling in your direction. Come on now. You got to work it, though.
A lot more boulders to pick up in football than in basketball. That's all I'm saying, Tony. The other thing is this. Has the University of Tennessee become the lovable losers, the Chicago Cubs? In other words, as long as we're okay, the money coffers are going to be there. The season tickets are going to be rolling in. Yeah. There's going to be 100,000 people at Neyland. We're going to get 18,000 at Thompson Bowling. Do we need just to be good enough so the revenue rolls and the margins are high? Because I don't think Danny Dollars wants to go in the red, Tony. And if the money's flowing, you got to be good, but maybe not great. Is that Danny Dollars' mantra? We're in everything school, but not a championship school, Tony. Is that his mantra? I think it is.
I don't know, man, but this season was so weird. The losing to Vanderbilt and everything school. This was very strange this year. That weekend series, Taylor, those three excruciating. Were you down there for all three of those?
Tony, I had a family change. Thank goodness. At the last minute, I didn't go.
Yes! Because that
goodness for
looked
small,
like
little
torture. Every game was more torturous than the last one. Every game. Friday's game was torture. Saturday was more torturous. And yesterday is one of the worst losses I've ever seen any of my teams witness. And it almost was like a facial from the sports gods because it happened symmetrically perfectly right during the halftime of our basketball game. Like it was meant to be.
Just so the casuals could tune in and get gutted.
Yes.
Just like the diehards. It was excruciating.
Yes.
I submit to you, Tony, no team in the history of college baseball has been swept by walk-offs. Walk-off single, walk-off suicide squeeze, walk-off pinch hitter grand slam. It's never happened in the history of college baseball, Tony, ever. I tell you what, Elander, he somehow snatches defeat from the jaws of victory after watching that debacle in Athens and then seeing what happened.
Are you worried about him, Taylor? Taylor, are you worried about him? Tell the truth.
Tony, here's the problem. Tony, I was in the business for a long time.
Yeah.
When you see an executive get promoted, you know you got a problem when he doesn't let go of his old role. He still does his old stuff. He doesn't think strategically. He doesn't realize I've got to delegate to my subordinates because I got to look big picture and strategic. Tony, in my life, I have never seen an in-game interview and watch a coach with his head down during an in-game television interview charting plays. Get a damn analyst for that, Elander. That's not your job. And the other thing, Tony, when you're a brand new manager, you know what your crutch is, Tony? It's analytics. It's looking over at Stovall and saying, what should I do? Sean McCann wasn't in the dugout, Tony. And by the way, Sean McCann coached at a high level at K-State and was a cross-checker, scouter across the whole country and knew more about baseball than most people know in their entire life. But that guy led the scouting, led the analytic team, but also led by feel and by baseball experience. And I think the biggest detriment to Elander right now is his relying on analytics versus looking at his players in the eye, seeing who hit batting practice that morning, see who's looking good, who has eye of the tiger, and making some decisions based on instinct, experience, and feel, and not what the computer says. That's a problem, Tony. He's got to fix that.
And you know what that does when you have a computer-generated baseball team? Lee Douglas is right. She's right.
It's horrible for morale.
She said this baseball team has zero personality to this point in the year, and they are bad boring. And she's exactly right. I watched that 15-inning game Saturday. Taylor, they might have hit 3 baseballs hard. They're all rolling their bats. Nobody's trying to go the opposite way. And then Sunday they wake up, and I think they're encouraged. You better start hitting the ball the other way, and everybody starts hitting the ball the other way. Voila, we start having competitive, quality baseball at bats instead of trying to kill the baseball. What a concept.
Well, it helps with your confidence a lot when the wind's blowing out 20 to 30 miles per hour.
And
you're right.
And the pitching you're seeing looks like slow pitch softball.
Yeah, the pitching with ERAs in double digits. But, the approaches were certainly better, but like I said, it helps. I don't know, Tony. I'm really frustrated with what I'm seeing, and there's got to be improvement, and you've got to have a little more passion, a little more charisma,
something.
Just something. What's happening right now is not working, and it's you know what? It's bad enough to be bad, but when you're bad and boring,
she's right. No, Lee's right.
Unforgivable.
No, Lee's got my copper card. That's the copper card. Bad, boring. We've often said on here, and Taylor, thank you. One thing, I'm never going to be as boring. Now, I might do you a bad show, but I can promise you this. I will never be boring. Bad, boring is a bad combination. That's a bad combination. That's Jeremy Pruitt football. Bad, boring.
Chris Lee said Vandy wasn't making the tournament.
Yes.
Is Tennessee going to make the tournament?
Chris Lee said that last week, yeah. If the Vols flirt with a 500 record, they won't. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of season left, and, the game's so crazy that last week you had the shot of O'Sullivan over there turning his head from the dugout, turning his head on the field by what he saw on the field, and then 1 week later, they couple days later they beat Florida State. Then they went to Arkansas and swept them. Baseball's a crazy sport, and then Bino's guys, they wouldn't even let Tony Giant's team score a run, Bino. You wouldn't even let them score a run over the weekend, Bino. You wouldn't
they
even let
scored a run in Game 3, Tony. Give him a break. Hey, real quick, Tony,
Yeah.
two things.
Yep.
One, I couldn't agree with Taylor more about Elander being still over there at third base. He needs to get in the dugout and manage the entire team. He's kept a job he wasn't any good at when that was what Ollie was doing.
He's not a good third base coach. I hate to tell him that.
Get in the dugout.
Thank you.
And manage your team. The other thing is, you know how you get fired up in baseball. You know how you look like you've got some charisma. Get some damn hits. That's how you look that way. That's what fires you up in baseball.
What do you think of this non-hitting bunch, Bino, we have? They're hard to watch, aren't they?
I felt good about yesterday. I know the conditions were good, but I felt much better about Brown's at bats. He's a key. You've got to have him. And he swung the bat much better yesterday. But that's my biggest concern with this team. It's not how they're being managed. It's not their desire. It's you've got to swing the bat better than this team is swinging it game in, game out.
And we'll go to the phones. The basketball team's in the process of building a super team. My question for you, the living listener, is your thoughts on the season we just saw, which was really good. I appreciate how hard these kids played. I really do. And when Nate Ament hurt his ankle in December, the season was not the same. And they still got to the Elite Eight. They gutted their way to the Elite Eight is what they did. Played so hard and play so hard. And really, there is no fault in getting drilled by that Michigan team. I'll tell you this. I would much rather beat Tennessee today than Duke. I would much rather be the team that, the little engine that almost could versus the team that had the highest payroll in the tournament doing this. Look, where's Titans Bill when you need him? Doing his imitation, which I will play, by the way. If we get to the third hour, I'll play Titans Bill's message for me. That Commodian woke me up yesterday morning. We have a Titans Bill's got a rule. He's not supposed to call before 9 o'clock. He called me 7:30 yesterday when I was getting my beauty rest. Hey, Brian, I'm going to do a little Duke for you here. Hey, listen. Have you heard the Duke radio call? Bino, you've heard it, right? You guys heard it on X?
No, I have not heard it.
We got to play it. We got to play it. The guy is calling for the head coach of UConn to get a technical foul, Bino, for coming out onto the floor. Technical's hard to do after you just choked yourself. That's a technical. You got to call a technical there. That's how you guys want to win? That's what it's come to at Duke? It's bad enough you got the TCU game because you had the referees with you. We're going to do this now? We're going to do two of them? Don't we have any shame?
No.
Yeah, Bino, he was calling for the guy to – would you want your team, Bino, to advance because the other coach came onto the floor after your kids threw the ball away?
Absolutely not.
Well, Duke sure does. 865.
That's entitlement for you.
That's exactly what that is. And this Titans Bill, when you hear this call, because Brian, guess who? Guess what imitation he did in the middle of that? Think about what happened the first two games of the team that you follow for us over at
Karen Weekly.
Yeah, he did his imitation at 7:30 in the morning on my message. and I couldn't go back to sleep after being up till 5 a.m. the night before. 865-200-5402. We're going to get as many calls in. I'm going to shut my mouth. I want to take some calls. I want to hang out with you. Bino wants to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Brian wants to hear from you. Tennessee's getting ready to go into super team mode. The question is, who from this roster do you keep? Who from the roster do you keep? I want to hear from you. Who's the absolute must keep? 865-200-5402, because you're in a space in college sports, whether we want to hear this or not, especially college basketball, where it's gotten extremely expensive extremely quickly. And I was sharing this with my buddies. The Dalton Connect, think about this, a couple springs ago, was a $400,000 player. That's what Tennessee paid him out of northern Colorado or wherever he came from. Dalton Connect today in that same market would be a $4 to $5 million basketball player easily. And I'm talking pretty easily. As we continue with more on the other side after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Fanrun Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Start the new year with comfort and savings from Pipe Wrench Home Services. Tired of high energy bills and constant heating and AC repairs? Ready for a more efficient home? There's never been a better time to upgrade your comfort and take control of your energy costs. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. A new energy-efficient system means lower bills, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind for years to come. And with Pipe Wrench Home Services same-day service guarantee, you won't wait to start enjoying a more comfortable home. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. Schedule your free estimate today at pipewrench.com. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Hey, I'm Alan, and we ship floors on Bristol Highway in Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79 lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer and let's make a deal.
Gotta love this time of the year. Hoops here, home runs over there, and you've got to get your Tennessee on. And there's only one place, the best place to shop for your officially licensed Tennessee Volunteer gear, Alumni Hall. Hands down, the best store for Vol fans. They've got the latest and greatest apparel for the entire family. Hats, man cave items, decor, and more. Get your Vols grill cover, a plate for your burgers, and of course, that chef's apron for all that outdoor grilling this spring. And accrue those rewards and watch your balance grow online or on the app. We'll see you at Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com and G to the B to the O, Alumni Hall.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Super proud of this basketball team. Super proud of our school as well, the way we fought. Super proud of that Gillespie kid and all these guys. The Gillespie kid is a great story because, you know, in an era where it's all about the money, he chose less to come back here. I think he took half his market value basically to come here and play. And I asked him if he regretted it when I was with him, and he said, "No way, man. No, He said, "I'm waking up on this campus after being a fan all those years." He said, I'm just sad it's only for one season." That's what he told me. But it's going to be really interesting watching Tennessee in 8 days, how they pivot and how they go. And Bino, if the Vols land what they're hoping to land and can get to where they want to go, how amazing will it be this offseason? How fired up will people be, Bino?
Yes, Tony. I think they're going to be very excited if they land a couple that you're suggesting they may.
To the phones we go, 865-200-5402. I think Tennessee's expenditure on the roster is getting ready to balloon because they've seen the light. And they've decided that that this is where they're going. And I'm gonna tell you something. They're going to get some shooters this offseason. They're going to get some shooters. But it all revolves around getting the right point guard, as we've seen. But we'll go to the phones. You're just, for the next week or so, going to have to trust me. Some names will leak out this week as we get to the portal. Some things will start. And you'll see some people dig some things up. But rest assured that these guys are going for it. And I kind of respect that. It reminds me of Crazy Tony. When was that whole thing with that Alberto guy? Brian, was that 2 years ago or last year?
I think that was last year.
Yeah. Tony was calling me up for like 13 months ago, screaming, why aren't you talking about him? I'm like, you're beating everybody by 1 million runs. You have enough players. No, we don't. He was right. Those people know. You got to keep the pedal to the metal when you're in competitive situations. Rick Barnes is how old, guys? 71, 72?
72, I believe.
He ain't acting like
He
it.
will be 72 in July.
He ain't acting like it.
Before next season
He acting
begins.
to you, Bino, like a guy's getting ready to quit? Did he look to you like a guy getting ready to quit yesterday on the sidelines, Bino? He was coaching.
No, he doesn't.
He was coaching the hell out of that team yesterday now. Say what you want to say about him. You better say this. He's best coach in school history. And you also better say this. You live 100 more years. I don't know if you're going to see a team go to 3 straight Elite Eights like that. That's pretty damn hard to do. That's pretty freaking hard to do. But I think we're getting ready to see some fireworks here. And if you're going to play with some fireworks, you gotta get in the ring with the big boys. To the phones we go, 865-200-5402. And really, it's not even about the SEC anymore. That's the other thing that you learned this year. You're building your team for one thing. March. March. It's what you don't even worry about the league now. It's such a strange era we're in. And in football, your goal now is to get to the playoffs. It's not get to the SEC championship game anymore. It's kind of an odd time we're living in, but this is what they've done to these sports. Hello and welcome in. You're on our Monday after.
What's up, Tony? Grant in Birmingham.
Hey, Grant, welcome in.
Man, I got a lot of basketball thoughts.
Hit it.
Swirling around my head the last 24 hours. The one thing I want to say really quick on baseball, my only comment on that, is what really ticks me off is that we were such an embarrassment this weekend. And yesterday was so embarrassing, just score watching. We have to come on here, and that's going to be a big topic of conversation after what was an incredible basketball run, and that they suck some of the life out of it when you just absolutely, just a debacle of a weekend. But whatever.
Amen.
That's all I'm going to say.
Amen. Amen. They put me in and I'm honest today on the air. They put me in a position where if you don't acknowledge it, you're not being honest, right, Grant? If I don't acknowledge that on the air today, I'm not being honest to the audience. And I didn't know what to do with it. I've been doing it 32 years, like I said. I didn't know, because I didn't know you could urinate on an Elite Eight appearance the way the baseball team did yesterday. No offense to them. That was unbelievable, Andy Mack.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I'm not kidding you, Tony. I watched one at bat of that game. I turned it over when we got to halftime, and I watched the grand slam, and I turned it right back off. Yeah. I said, "You got to be kidding me!" Anyway, on the basketball, what really matters right now?
Yes.
I thought a couple interesting things. Again, I could probably sit on here and we could talk for 30 minutes. I could give you lots of thoughts, but I know you got a lot of people wanting to talk today. I thought one thing that was really interesting is I watched Rick's press conference after the game, and you just kind of got into it a little bit. But man, that is as clear as I feel like I've ever seen him talk about wanting to get to the Final Four. That was not a guy. Some of these losses we've had over the years, and right after the game, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it has not always hurt him to lose. I'll just say that. Is that a fair thing to say? And that's a good outlook to have, and I think that benefits him. But I think sometimes the fans have criticized him because it feels like maybe it doesn't hurt him as much as it hurts us. I felt like yesterday, some of those comments about we want to be the guys to kick the door down, we want to be back here. I feel like I've never heard Rick Barnes more motivated at 71, 72. And I thought that was an awesome thing to see. And you can say, we lost by 30. He had all second half to think about what he wanted to say, and that's fine. But I mean, you just said it. I don't think this guy's slowing down. And I don't know how much longer does he have. I don't know. But I don't think we've ever seen a more motivated Rick Barnes than what we're going to get going forward.
I couldn't agree more with that.
And I'll say too, I also think it really ticked him off yesterday. Maybe you know about this, and I don't. I haven't heard any real scuttle. I don't think there's any love lost between him and old Dusty May. I think it goes back to that week before that Sweet 16 game a couple of years ago when Dusty May got on there and was whining to every media outlet out there about us playing football. And then they got the calls as what he wanted.
Yep.
You go back to them canceling that scrimmage on us for whatever happened back in the fall.
Yes.
I think Rick's boys with obviously boys with
Izzo.
with Izzo.
Yep.
And I don't think Izzo likes them. They got into it after that game this year. So anyway, that's just a small subplot.
We're not gonna play
but I think there's some really and Tony, I watched the press conference.
Yeah.
Rick Barnes after every game
yes.
gives credit by name to the opposing coach.
Not this
he did
guy.
Not say Dusty Mays. He did not say Dusty Mays' name, nor did he say they are a well-coached team.
You know what's funny about Dusty May, though, that you and I have to acknowledge? He's an elite basketball coach.
He's an elite coach, and let's be real, he's kicked Rick's tail twice in the tournament. Now he has a way better team this year.
Yeah, once with a better roster and once probably with a worse roster, if we're going to be honest about it.
Correct. No, and I mean, that's on Rick to flip it. Yep. I'm not saying that Dusty Mays, he's a great coach, but I just think it's interesting, and I think it's going to lead to Rick ain't looking to just, slide out into retirement. Kind of one more just big picture thing. Again, I'll probably call more later in the week because you know how much I love basketball and how much I love these seasons and these runs we've gone on. I just really hope, and I think for the most part, I listened to the post game. I feel like most callers were appreciative. But man, I know it's painful to lose 3 in a row, and we should know better than anyone, man. It is so hard to get to the Elite Eight. And I just hope that people don't take losing these final games 1 game short for granted. I mean, again, we had made one in our history before 2 years ago. And, we said it all year, Tony. You said it the whole last month. If we get to the Elite Eight, we should build a statue. And I was just laughing at you because I'm sitting here thinking this team ain't
They can make an Elite Eight. That's exactly. When I was saying it, I was thinking, Bino, 6 weeks ago, if I'd have told you this team was going to the Elite Eight, would you have not told me to pull over? And you come pick me up, Bino? Would you have not told me that?
I would have told you that a week ago, Tony. I didn't think they were still going to be in a tournament when I made it home from Vegas.
Thank you.
Yeah, Thank you. Tony, I called you after the Bama game a month ago when we blew that lead in the second half and Nate got hurt. And I basically did a little post-mortem of how great a coaching job it was going to be that we were going to win 22 games and make the second round. Mm-hmm. And I was being serious. I was trying to set people up for man, this was a good coaching job. You get this team to 22, 23 wins and we win a tournament game. Mm-hmm. We were flawed. And not only that, you went out and beat a 2 seed. Now we got lucky against Iowa State. Obviously we called a break. Their guy went out, but we beat them by 15. It wasn't like we, eked out a 1 point win Friday night.
Yeah.
We beat a 3 seed and a 2 seed, which that's been one of the things hanging over Barnes' head forever. Can't beat a team seated higher than him. We did it twice in 5 days.
Yep.
And again, was the ending yesterday? It wasn't even painful, really. It was
at that point. Now, if you know the game, you could tell after that second TV timeout the ball game was over. If you know that sport.
Yeah, and I was like you, Tony. I even told someone Friday night before the Iowa State game. I said this just because I knew how good Michigan was, and I knew personally I never thought we had a chance. I said the Iowa State game almost feels like an old school back in the day big bowl game.
Yep.
Where it's like, this is your last game. We had one more play, but I knew we weren't beating Michigan, so it felt like this is it. This is our chance right here. Friday night, late night game, get back to the Elite Eight. And we did it, and we got it done, and it was awesome. And you're on here till 3 a.m. It's why you're the best. It's why I love, this radio family, because you go pillar to post every season. We
go hard, man. We go hard to paint. Yep.
Yeah, and it's why this is the best program out there because no one else is seriously covering it as plugged in as you are. And that is awesome. I said Friday night, I listened to a little bit of it, got up, had to work Saturday morning, listened to I was just sitting there smiling all Saturday morning, listening to that 3-hour post-game show after getting back to the Elite Eight. So anyway, love this team, love this program. I would encourage anyone, if you hadn't watched that 4-minute video the basketball account put out yesterday, to do it. And I tweeted this. I said, in sports, I'm obviously a huge Tennessee fan, a huge Cubs fan, which is I kind of funny with what Taylor just said, but I don't think in sports I've ever wanted something as bad as I want a Final Four for us and for Barnes. I want it, And I think we're going to get there eventually. It's frustrating.
Oh, we're going to see it.
But anyway, man, this is just an awesome program. The guys in the program are awesome. The fan base is awesome. It's been a great 5-year run. Hopefully we can keep it going for a couple more years.
Let's keep it going. Love you, Grant. Let's keep it going. That's what I say. And I love his enthusiasm for it. I believe Tennessee pivots to scoring in this portal. You watch and see. And then you come back to me. I think they've seen the light. Here's the truth about that sport right now. We said it yesterday. When you can't outscore somebody, your margin for error is this. Now you could now when you outwork people in the regular season and Grant Medenwall gets his hands on you and you're tougher than your opponent, Bino, you're going to win 20 games rolling out of bed. You make that look pretty. Rick Barnes makes that look pretty easy. But you have got to be able to put the ball in the basket, though. And one point guard shooting bombs away when you're playing Michigan is not going to work. It's just not. So that was incredible, that Michigan team yesterday. Here's what they did, though. Michigan had 3 returning starters, kind of like the Vols did, and they went out and got 6 guys out of the portal and recruited over the 3 that they had on their roster and put them on the bench. They built their team last year in the portal. And Bino's right. And I get emotional about the football thing because it makes me angry. And it is unfair to say what I'm just tired and I'm emotional. You all know me. I'm kind of a goofball. But this basketball portal thing, this is going to be 2.5 weeks of total madness watching us put this thing together. Are you excited for it, Bino, or are you dreading it? Which one?
No, I'm excited for it, Tony. This is college basketball's kind of become like fantasy sports.
That's a great way of putting it.
Draft day every year.
Yes. This is, and to the NBA fan, this is that tampering or that free agency thing in July that we're getting ready to see. And it's going to go for about 3 weeks here. And we're going to be a major player this year in the middle of it. We've always been a player. And we've always we're going to get super aggressive this spring. Now, we might not get everybody. Bino, that's a great way of putting it. That's a great way of putting it. And I want to apologize to Heupel and people I've said. I don't mean to get all into that. I'm just extremely tired. And I get kind of cranky.
It kind of seems like basketball is what you're going to have to get the most excited about. Just looking at the direction of the other programs, men's basketball, that is.
Damn, Brian dropping bombs. As we continue with more on the other side after that. Brian from the top row.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fanrun Radio.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Achillio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's national award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest. Finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Hello and welcome in as we welcome you back. Hour number 2 on your radio. And again, I didn't mean to get into that football stuff in the first. I was telling Bino that I'm just so gassed. Prediction for you. Tennessee's getting ready to add some pretty good offense. Prediction. I'm looking at myself on YouTube, man. I look white. I'll tell you what it does, Bino. When you're my age and you stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning one morning, couple days. It takes like 2 or 3 days to get through that, you know? I'm looking at myself and I'm going, damn, it looks like a guy needs some beauty sleep. But I love it so much. Laura said, it's funny. She made me a little popcorn that night. And she said, I noticed you didn't eat anything. She said, you went right to sleep. What time did you come up? I said, about 3:20. She said, I thought you were going to do 60 minutes. I said, yeah, I did too, till we got in there and it was just fun. Because in my mind, you know what I was thinking? We're not going to get another chance to celebrate like this. Because Sunday's going to be rough. Me and Matt were talking about it. Kind of on the air that night. Matt said if they would have beaten that Michigan team yesterday, it would have been the best win in the history of the school. And what people thought he meant was, oh yeah, you'd have won to get to the Elite Eight. No, what Matt said is it would have been the best win in the history of the school because that team we played yesterday in this sport is about as hard as they come. And I know some people want to pick at Barnes, and this narrative that's out there now, well, the margins just keep getting longer. Well, listen, the Purdue team they beat 2 years ago won, and I'm not knocking that Purdue team, but they won because they had a guy that stayed in the lane for 25 seconds, and they tossed the ball to him, and then he got away with pushing and shoving everybody. And look, the guy's functioned in the NBA. I mean, I give that guy credit. He's more than just a big white stiff out there. The second year, they played a Houston team that does what they do, only they do it better. And this year they played, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, those of you that want to beat on Barnes, how you going to win yesterday's game?
They got to 3 straight Elite Eights without having to play the best seeded team they could play each game.
Thank you.
There were no upsets. The path was not cleared.
Exactly.
Unless you have the Jefferson injury. But
yes.
They played the best team they could have played, and they've still got to the Elite Eight all 3 years.
And the weirdest thing about college basketball right now is how your league is just your launching pad now, Bino. Isn't that interesting? I don't even think about it in terms of the league now. We're so much better than with what we're doing. We're in rare air right now. Do we understand that as Tennessee fans? What we're doing? Do we understand this? Like literally, yeah. We're one of the top 10 programs in the sport right now. Do we understand that? You understand that, Bino? Yes. Do we? I'm starting to understand it. I'm starting to understand that.
I don't. I think history will show. We'll look back on this stretch and understand that we didn't appreciate it enough.
To the phones we go.
I think we're going to look back on this stretch the way we look back on the 90s in football.
Matt Broyle says, my God, here we go again. Barnes has one Final Four in 40 years. Broadcasting experts. What does that even mean? What does that have to do with where we are as a basketball program? If this job opens tomorrow, the guys will be fighting for it. When NC State's job opened, nobody wanted it. If Tennessee's job would have opened prior to Bruce Pearl getting here, it was like NC State trying to hire a coach. Now, we can deal with truth or not deal with truth. I'm telling you the facts. And they're getting ready to go off in the portal. Now or at least attempt to. Bino, am I lying right now when I say that? Because I'm sharing some of this information. So don't you people go beating on Bino.
No, you're telling the truth, Tony. Hey, all I know about Barnes is, in my lifetime,
yes,
as a Tennessee basketball fan, we had played in a game that could get us to the Final Four one time. We've done it 3 times in the last 3 years. You can want whoever you want as coach. I'm perfectly fine with what we got.
Back to our phones we go. And look, some of you people are magical thinkers and you think it's all coaching. I got news for you. It's players. And guess what? You know why Nick Saban worked at recruiting harder than anybody? Because he knew it was about players. You know why? Because when he went to the NFL and he didn't have better players, he got his ass stomped into the ground. Okay? And when Bill Belichick was in Cleveland and he didn't have any players, he got run over. And when Bill Belichick didn't have Tom Brady anymore, guess what happened to Bill Belichick? He got run over. And when Bill Belichick went to North Carolina last year and his little eye candy on his arm wasn't around, he got curb stomped. Let's go back to the phones. Oh, welcome to the show, to our next call. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What's up, Tone?
Hey, welcome in.
It's Dave.
Hey, Dave. Good to talk to you.
You too, brother. Well, I got a few things. Let's start out with and don't shoot me. Don't throw me off the air. This is a legitimate question.
Hey, Dave. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Okay, as long as you have a reason for what you're about to say. But I'm not that guy.
Okay.
Go for it.
So, and I know it's early in the season. I know Josh Elander could go sweep LSU this weekend. Probably all would be forgiven, more than likely. Okay, but has the ship sailed with Tony? Like if he leaves Major League Baseball, like is it that convoluted with him and RAD? Is that ship sailed? You don't think he'd ever come back?
If Tony Vitello, let's say hypothetically, he crashed out in year one and the Giants just don't have enough baseball team and they got all over him, and Bino will tell you he didn't exactly have what you'd call a great weekend managing that team, but it's hard to look good when your team's losing, kind of like Elander. It's hard to look good when you get swept and only score one run. But he didn't exactly have a good weekend, and they're kind of already on him out there, which is to be expected because of where he's come. Kind of like we're already on Elander, because if you don't win right away and you're not an experienced coach, fans are going to look at you and go, this guy can't manage. You know, and we only have very little data. Even Taylor today, who's as patient as they come, was just, you could hear it, like his teeth were out. And so I say all this to say this. I never say never. I think if Tony Vitello made it known, okay, that just in a hypothetical world that, hey, I tried that, kind of like Lou Holtz. Hey, I tried the Major League Baseball thing. I hated every minute of it. And by the way, I want my job back at Tennessee. If he made that known, they would figure out a way to get his job back at Tennessee. Is that what you're asking me?
I think that's what I'm kind of hitting around.
I'm honest enough to take the question on, and I'm not mad at you for asking, because I think a lot of Tennessee fans are looking at the chessboard and going, could he come back here one day? Sure. Look, does he have ill thoughts toward Danny White? Yes, he does. Now, could those two get in a room and patch it up? Yes. If they force Danny White to patch it up with him, the answer is yes. Because Danny White has bosses too. And those bosses love Tony Vitello.
And I think that's what I was going to follow up with that question on.
Yes.
It seemed when Tony left, he did not burn any bridges. And I feel like in the money people, because let's be honest, that's who runs the show. I feel like he still has a good relationship with a lot of them.
All of them.
And
all of them. Listen, one of the big money people he's got contact with, he was basically crying on the phone with before he took the job out there. He was so torn up. Tony was literally crying on the phone with this person.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and just throw it out there. This is just me. I'm not trying to throw gas on the fire.
Yeah.
I just don't think Elander's going to work.
I don't know that you can say that. It's way too early, man.
It is early. It is early, but just like you talked about with Taylor earlier, since I've been listening, a lot of these managing decisions in game are just like, I'm not a baseball expert, but the Friday night game,
awful.
When we gave up an out to bunt a run in when the heart of your lineups cut. Even Chris Burke was on on TV, and he's a Tennessee homer going, Coach, what are we doing here?
Yep.
Like, and that's the thing is I think it's just two completely different things. Tony in that situation, he's so aggressive. He'd have been like, screw it. And I know some baseball guys, well, we're trying not to ground out into a double play. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, when you got the heart of your lineup coming up, you got to have faith in your guys to swing the bat. And to me,
Chris Burke, Chris Burke, I love. Our Twidiots don't understand that when you're calling a game, you have to call it evenly. And so Berkey's over there. They're celebrating. What do you want him to say? He's calling the game.
Yeah.
When they rush the field twice in a row, they win 3 weeks in a row. And, I mean, Berkey, here's the thing. Berkey said Friday night in the moment, I don't understand that. That's your 3-hole hitter. You've got pressure on this pitcher. You keep the pressure on. And I always think when it comes to any kind of strategy, football game, basketball game, etc., what would my opponent want me to do right now? If you buzzed into Tim Corbin's dugout, Bino, and you said, hey, the Vols are getting ready to trade an out for a run here and clear the bases, would he have made that trade with you, Bino?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's why it makes no
think
sense.
In that situation,
that's silly.
You want
pressure
to trade a run for an out there.
Yeah, I want pressure.
I agree with the caller 100%. I'm not a small ball guy. I hated that play. I hated the Stone Lawless bunt in Saturday's game. But I'm telling you, a lot of this, I think Elander is kind of straining to do because his offense has went way below what he thought it was going to be.
And I'm going to tell you something. If they play this small ball baseball, they will have, I don't know what they're going for, but that's not what people signed up for when they're paying the big money in that stadium.
No. We saw it already, Tony. We saw it with Dave Serrano. We lived through this already.
No, I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is they'll have 1,000 people at their games next year. I mean, Tennessee
in a newly renovated stadium.
Tennessee sent a thing out. They sent a thing out last week to their season ticket holders saying no increase, and we're going to give you 6 more months to pay for your tickets. And I'm going, real? Oh, really? No increase? No increase? Really? That's nice of you.
And that's coming from, Danny Dollars there, who's increasing every year.
Exactly. Danny's never heard of a bad economy.
He knows. He knows the big money people are pissed off.
Of course he knows
of the waiting list.
Of course he knows it. What are you going to tell me next, Danny? No increase for Lady Vol season tickets after you bring Kim Caldwell back? I mean, what are we doing here?
After we took Tony's NIL money to go pay for the most expensive women's roster in America to get bounced in the first round.
Thank you. But I appreciate your call. Thank you. Listen, you're not. Here's the thing. Tony Vitello is not coming back. And don't give up on this baseball team. And Josh Elander, it's not as bad as it looks, but he's not off to a scintillating start. It's never as bad as it looks. It's never as good as it looks. It's the thing I've learned down through the years of doing this. And I know that's a cliche, but I truly mean it. Look, we've had teams here in the past. This team has a lot of talent. They're going to wake up. They're going to start hitting the baseball. Now, there are certain things with this team that now that you brought baseball up, and then we'll go back to the phones because we're having a basketball conversation here. But I do know one thing. This Krenzel guy would not for a long time. I'm talking maybe till like the postseason, get an inning of high leverage baseball for me. Now, Bino, you're the baseball guy on the panel. You tell me.
No, Tony, he's broken right now, and there's no way you're going to fix him by continuing to run him out there in high leverage situations.
That's bad
managing. If you're going to fix him, it's going to be in some other situation other than that.
That's bad managing. Putting him in that spot. I'm on the phone with a friend of mine who's steeped in the baseball while that's going on. Because he asked me, are you? I said, I got 2 TVs on. I'm watching it the whole time. He said, bless you. And then he said he's getting ready to hit this guy. And then he's going to give up a grand slam. And I said, there's no way in hell he's going to hit this guy. And he hit him. And he hit him. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The fact that it happened to Vanderbilt's unbelievably salt in the wounds. I get that. The fact that it happened 3 consecutive times, basically in a final at bat in 3 consecutive ways, is total torture. You could go out there this weekend and get swept by LSU and still come back and have a real good baseball season. We've seen teams in this league finish last team to get into fields, go and win national championships. Am I saying this team's going to do that? I'm not. However, this team's got great pitching. Great pitching. When you do what they did Friday night, and you flip that paradigm like that, and you get that kid to come out of the bullpen and give you that start, and then the kid from the bullpen who's been struggling to come behind him and pitch like that, it's a disgrace to lose that game, really. And it's on the guys in the lineup. And then you get that much pitching and lose in the longest game that we've ever seen in Tennessee baseball history. But we'll go back to the phones. I'm not giving up on Josh Elander. He hadn't adorned himself in glory. But is Tony Vitello going to come back here, crowd? I think that's silly talk. However, I do think that anything's possible in this world. And I wouldn't rule out that one day he could return here. That's all I'm saying. So, 865-200-5402. Timothy McGee. Summit was 16-8 and 16-11 in her first 2 years. Does Timothy McGee, Bino, you were on campus back then. Does he realize that Pat Summit was doing the laundry and driving the bus back then when they got the program off the ground?
I don't think anyone can imagine what she was having to do back then, Tony. Okay.
Timothy,
and, Tony, to your point, we talked about it off air.
Yes.
We had a team several years ago here that started 5-10 in the first half of the SEC season.
Yep.
And I think they turned it around and went 11-4 in the second half. And this team, their fate is going to be determined by, can they swing the bat the way they're capable of? And can they overcome the amount of pressure that they have on them right now, trying to prove that they're a valid Tennessee baseball team? They need something good to happen. They need it to happen quick.
And the thing about Kim Caldwell is you cannot compare her era at all. Like people that say, well, Pat Summit, and look, I don't care whether Kim Caldwell gets fired or not. I watched her this year, and her hold on her team is disgraceful. I'll say that. And the level of disrespect from her players to her is disgraceful. I'll say that. And she's getting ready to lose all her players. Do I think Danny White's firing her? I don't. I know people think that he is. I don't think he is right now. Now, as all these players go into the portal next week, which is what's going to happen, some big booster might call Danny White and say, you're firing her. And guess what? He's going to fire her. It's kind of like the whole Tony Vitello narrative the caller just introduced, which I don't think is ever going to happen. But if in quotes, if a big booster told enough money, people told, it's kind of like Danny White had a press conference, okay, and announced he was going to have a nationwide search for this job and a search firm, and he was going to have, who was it? Todd Helton, who doesn't even watch college baseball, which I love. I love Todd, but he don't watch college baseball. He's going to be my consultant because Danny likes optics, and that's fine. Danny going to do Danny.
What did Danny do 2 days later after his national search? You know why he did that? Because he got pressured to do it. See, we keep it real here. I keep it 100% of the time. Everybody has a price. Everybody has a boss. Those of you that think Danny White doesn't have bosses, Danny White has bosses. Okay? Okay. And Timothy, I love you, and you love that. You have this narrative that it's always the player's fault. I don't know what you're like a... Kim Caldwell lost control of her team. Do not compare her to Pat Summitt. Don't say her name with Pat Summitt's name. Do not do that, Timothy. You're going to piss me off. Pat Summitt in her second year was driving the van. Bino was on the campus at the time, doing the laundry, managing the team, sweeping the floor. Kim Caldwell walked into something she was not prepared to do. She was hired for her beauty of face and skin and how she presented in an interview. And shut the hell up with that, Timothy McGee. Stop it. Don't piss me off.
Pat Summitt was also teaching.
And teaching.
Because she taught my officiating basketball class over there.
And from Bino's...
Did you get a... Bino, did she ever stare at you? Like
well,
she did patently for so many years.
I would blow the whistle and say like, no, and then make the call. And she told me real quick, she said, you're not Mindy Rudolph. Just make a call and go on.
Fantastic. Let's go. I mean, comparing somebody in that chat today, and I'm talking about this YouTube chat, this nation of brain donors, comparing Pat Summitt to this lady. Well, it's been Pat Summitt's record for 2 years. Give me a damn break. That's the dumbest thing I've ever read. Pat Summitt would have taken about, let me think here, about 1/1000th of 1% what this woman took from her basketball team this year. Okay? She would have finished the season with 5 walk-on players. That's what Pat Summitt would have done. This lady that's over there right now has, hear me, and I'm not advocating for her to be, they can do whatever they want with her. She lost her team this year. I've never seen anything like it. That she brought in here, by the way. I didn't bring them in. Bino didn't bring them in. People in the chat didn't bring them in, these brain donors. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, this is Lukey Dome.
There he is. The man.
I'm going to give you a little straight. Can I do a little straight talk here?
Sure. I like Straight Talk with Luke. We got a new segment. Ladies and gentlemen, Straight Talk with Luke presented by, let's sing. Let's get a sponsor for that. Sprint PCS. Go ahead.
Okay, you can't let them play for 3 or 4 games and then call the ticky-tock fouls. I agree with you on the final game. Now, here's what happened. I disagree with most people. They stopped momentum. Tennessee had momentum going, and there was at least 2 fouls that we didn't even touch the guy. And then the walking foul on that Michigan guy, all that broke our momentum. And that's just the bad calls on the referee. We could have very well beat Michigan yesterday, and I just disagree. I know Michigan's better than we are as a rule, but we could have won that game if they hadn't broke our momentum by those bad calls.
Hey, Luke.
Yes, sir.
Luke, I love you. Now you were going in the right direction. There's no reason why a tournament should be officiated one way.
Exactly.
And then you get to that game yesterday and they decide we're going to call everything. Because here's the thing about it. If the game would have stayed competitive, say Tennessee wouldn't have enough players to stay with them, there would have been multiple guys fouled out in that game. Because at the pace they were calling those fouls early in the game, there would have been nobody left. The only thing that saved that from happening is the game was not competitive. About 3 minutes into the second half, the game was over.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. You are right, Luke, from that perspective. Now, what you did though is you made that point, and then you said something about Tennessee. Tennessee, Luke,
We could play that game 100 times, okay? You're not beating that Michigan team yesterday in that spot. You're just not.
But what if Gillespie had went off? He might have hit 7 or 8 threes in a row.
Hey, Luke, better chance of me waking up tomorrow doing a show where I have 100% great takes. I'm 100% logical, non-emotional, do a meat and potatoes sports show full of facts and figures that are all correct, and wake up with 6-pack abs. Not happening, Luke. Not happening.
Well, I tell you, they better get gambling out of the players and the referees. They better get it out. I tell you that. It's just too fishy to me. Now, Miami, Ohio, they should have beat us, but we beat them. Virginia should have beat us, but we beat them.
Miami of Ohio should have beat us.
How should they have beat us? I mean, how in the world do you have that kind of logic when they could have beat Michigan, but those other teams could have beat Tennessee?
They could have. But we beat them. And they were probably all three better than we were, like Michigan was. But we could have won that game. We had the players to win the game. And we were playing well. We were playing very well the first few minutes.
Bino, we have the players to win that game? 40 minutes, Bino, in that game? Is that what you saw?
No, I didn't see that, Luke. They were better than us at every position and had let's say Gillespie hit 7 threes in a row, we still get beat by 10.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Now, if Gillespie would have been on, we would have had 6 guys fouled out. That's what they were going to do. The game changed when Akpar gets 2 fouls. Who's the other big guy that got 2 fouls early? 2 of them got 2 fouls early. And then they put one of them, and then the Brown kid gets like 3 quickly. It's like, at that point, we don't have any, like, nobody's that deep. When you're officiating that way, there's nobody in America that's going to play with Michigan. If they get that kind of whistle in the Final Four, Arizona will go home. But that's a different conversation from you could have beaten them. I will agree with what Luke's saying. I don't think anybody tunes in to watch referees blow the whistles. I think what the officials did is beforehand they met, because they do have these meetings, and they said, okay, what do we have today? These are 2 really physical teams. And if we don't get control of this game early, they're going to kill each other on the floor, and we could have an incident. Now, I do think that's – Bino, I don't doubt that kind of conversation. I ran that by Maury yesterday. He said, yes, something like that could have occurred. If we don't get control of this game early and establish that we're not going to let these teams really, really go after each other like we've done with some, these 2 teams will kill each other out here. I do think that's possible, Bino.
Yeah, I believe that's possible. And I was really surprised that was the way the game was called, because that went completely against everything that we've seen from start to that point in the tournament.
Yep. And Luke, I think that's a really, 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 really good point that you bring up with the officiating from that perspective. The rest of it, though, was presented by our friends at T3 Vodka.
Well, one thing I did yesterday, I couldn't take it watching on TV. I got in my car and drove to the airport. I drove all the way out there. I was so upset, watching. I just listened to it on radio.
Drove to the airport?
Yeah, I had to get out. I couldn't watch it on TV after what was going on there, And I had a little business to do out there anyway, so I just got in the car and listened to Mike Keith on the radio.
This Steve Lapis guy, I'll say this for him: I don't know how he has a job. First of all, he was a horrendous head coach, awful. Secondly, he's awful on television. No offense, they can't get somebody else. I mean, that guy repeated again yesterday that Jalen Carey's a high flyer. Now, Jalen Carey's a lot of things. Jalen Carey jumps like he's at one of my family reunions, playing in the family reunion basketball game. He jumps like a middle-aged Italian guy. That's how he gets off the floor, with like a beer belly. No offense to Jalen Carey.
One more thing, Tony.
Yes.
one thing Tony Basilio did for the team, he seemed to keep him loose. You know, he kept him relaxed.
Yes.
That's what I've noticed, and that might help us if we could somehow get loose and relaxed and just play ball.
Do you did you have to pick somebody up at the airport? I'm interested in this business you had at the airport, or was it a matter of espionage?
I went out there I'm going to take a trip here in a few days.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to go down there and watch. I'm going to hope to watch that the astronauts, take off.
Oh, that's really cool, Luke. I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, I never got to see that live.
I love space, man. The final frontier, brah. That's awesome. Yeah. When's the launch?
It's supposed to be Thursday right now, and but they're saying there might be I might not get to see it, if they keep canceling it. But I'm going to take a chance anyway.
Thank you, Lukey. Good talking.
Travel safe, Luke.
Yeah, travel safe. I love seeing you, Lukey, at the park. It's one of my favorite things.
Tony, I do think that Luke's correct about this team playing tight, and I do think that was a big. That's something that Tony was really, really good at, and I do think that this team is pressing to try to prove that Elander's the right guy and that they're the right guys.
I think Luke's involved in international espionage, the more I think about it. And it's a great cover.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I mean, the Gong Show guy was. Why not Luke?
Exactly. Who would ever suspect... Yeah, Chuck Barris from the Gong Show was involved in international espionage. Who would ever suspect Luke of being a CIA operative or maybe a Russian operative? A man who advocates for a dome here in Knoxville for the baseball team. Retractable at that, which would take all the fun away from the Jim Peterses of the world. It's their badge of honor to sit out there and watch bad baseball in 30-degree weather. Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. We do exactly that on the other side after this.
Hey, I'm Alan, and we ship floors on Bristol Highway in Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79, lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer and let's make a deal.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Favorite 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial beer, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy, That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest, finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
Like our 2026 football Vols, score a T3TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in